In this video, I'm going to discuss the distinction between hard coding and soft coding your parameters, and I'm going to make the argument that soft coding is always better than hard coding. In fact, you should avoid hard coding whenever possible. It's actually a pretty simple concept, soft coding, so this won't be a terribly long video. So let's say you have some data analysis script or simulation script. You have some long piece of code. And the idea of soft coding is that you specify all of the key parameters at the top or somewhere towards the top of the script where they're easy to see and easy to modify. So this is a parameter, it's called param. And maybe this corresponds to some gain function or whatever is the relevant parameter here. So then the idea is you specify this parameter up at the top, and now you have lots and lots of code. Maybe you have hundreds of lines of code here, and then you actually use that parameter. So you might not even use this parameter right away. You just specify it at the top, and then you're using it here, and maybe you have another several hundred lines of code. Maybe you even have 1,000 lines of code, and then you use the parameter again. So this is referred to as soft coding. And the reason why this is really useful, the reason why this is great, is because if you want to change this parameter to some other value, let's say, we want it to be 3.2, all you have to do is go to the top of the script where all of your parameters are listed, and you change this value once. You only have to change it once. And then that automatically gets applied everywhere else in the code. So this is soft coding. Now let me show you what hard coding would look like. So imagine, again, you have a similar kind of setup. There's hundreds and hundreds of lines of code doing a lot of really intense, complicated computations. And then you have this gain function here. And then maybe, hundreds more lines of code. And then you want to use that gain parameter again down here. Now, the thing is, if you were interested in changing this parameter here, you have to go back and look through all of your code. Maybe your code is 2,000 lines of code. So you have to look through everywhere to find where it has this parameter and then change it manually each place like this. So you can imagine, first of all, it's really inefficient. Second of all, it takes you a long time. And most importantly, there's a huge danger that you are accidentally going to miss one of these uses of this parameter. So maybe you just by accident, just innocently missed changing this line. So now you're actually applying two different values of this parameter when it really should be the same. So this is hard coding. Now, of course, in this really, really simple toy example with 2 lines, you may think that hard coding is better because soft coding is just adding more lines of code. But of course, this method doesn't really scale up. So hard coding is maybe okay if you just have a couple lines of code, but in general, it's always much better to use soft coding and specify all of your parameters at the top of the script and then apply them as variables later on in the code. So that's really all there is to say about hard coding versus soft coding. Essentially, you should always soft code your parameters whenever possible. It makes your code easier to read, more efficient, and less prone to errors.